All right, good morning, everybody. Welcome to DuePoint. Good morning to everyone who's tuned in around the country on our live stream. We've got a wonderful training session this morning because it's not a repeat training session. It is a completely fresh, newly developed dev seminar that we're going to be going through this morning. So, as you know, you would have known, it's called Your First 30 Days, and we're hoping this will serve the wealth engineers that are experienced, that are bringing new people into this business, as well as the brand new people that join this business. Often the question is, after intro presentation, when we've got new wealth engineers that have signed up, we've got the question, what do I do now? What do I do now? And we'll often explain it, and we've often hoped that the lead wealth engineer would have explained the first week or the first month to this new person. And okay, we just got more people arriving. And we're hoping that this training seminar, this dev seminar, will now be an explicit roadmap for wealth engineers to use for the people that join this business and for the new people that enter in the business, and perhaps one something that they can look at, that they can reflect on and go, okay, this is exactly what I need to do this week and what I'm doing next week. And this is really what it looks like to be a wealth engineer in this business called DuePoint. Okay, so, and I'm hoping we're going to get through this in about 45 minutes so that it becomes a dev seminar that people can go through fairly quickly. Usually our training seminars are about an hour long, and that's quite a long time to sit through a dev seminar. So let's see if we can get through this in 45 minutes. Okay, so what we've done is we've broken down all the activity into basically 6 overlying or overlapping activities. And you'll see we start with the most obvious one, which is called prospecting, right? So this is the obvious one. When you become a wealth engineer, we allude to it in the intro presentation as building your channel of distribution. It begins with prospecting. We say to you, you never sell in this business. And everyone goes, yay, we're not selling. But you're certainly going to be prospecting because you want to tell people about the business opportunity that's represented by DuePoint. And that is prospecting, which is really connecting people to DuePoint, connecting them to the business opportunity. The second thing is engaging. So the next natural step once you are successful in your prospecting, right? Because we often say in our Teamworks meetings that about 65% of the people you approach are going to say no to you. You're going to say, I've got a wonderful... No. But 35% around about will say yes to you. And your success in those yeses will lead you to taking these prospects either here to head office to watch an intro presentation, or you're going to connect to the intro presentation online in the live stream, or you might have an intro presentation on a USB stick or on your laptop or at home, and the person that you're prospecting will sit down and give you an hour of their time and go through the intro presentation. And Brendan or myself will do all that hard work of telling the person what DuePoint is all about, and we'll also touch on the products. Okay, so that's the engaging part of it. The third activity is monitoring. Now, monitoring is actually fundamental to any business you look at. Any business. You know, in our personal lives, we don't really do too much monitoring unless your spouse tells you something that you've done wrong or you've done right. But generally, we just kind of flow through life. But in this business, which is certainly not a hobby, you need to treat being a wealth engineer as a business, monitoring is fundamental. And we make monitoring very easy because all you have to do is you need to log into your dashboard, and you can do that online on a web browser, or you can do it on your mobile app. And basically that mobile app or the dashboard will give you a real-time reflection of what's happening in your business so that you can see what's happening. You can see the result of your activities happening in real time. Okay. The fourth thing is learning. Now, this might be an obvious one, but I think when you become a wealth engineer, you probably don't realize that this business is going to call you towards personal development because you perhaps have never done this business. And even if you've done a business that you think is similar to this in the past, I think we are very separated. We are far ahead of the curve of other businesses that proclaim to be network marketing businesses, right? So learning is a very important aspect of this. You can't have a too big an ego to go, oh, I don't have to learn anything in this business. I know how to do this. I've done it in the past. I've been very successful. There's still learning. There's still learning that's required from you. And we have got one of the best training programs. You're sitting in it right now in the country. So you've got to watch the basic series, ask questions, become engaged in this new business. It's going to become part of your life. If you're successful as a wealth engineer, let me tell you or remind you that we're going to be friends for the rest of our lives, right? Because I expect you're not going to go anywhere. The fifth thing is strategizing. This is planning. This is, again, very important. This is actually a God-given gift to human beings, is that we're able to plan and strategize. And so you have to plan your success. It starts with you going out and defining what your goals are. It always starts with that. You define what your goals are, and then you strategize towards those goals so that you can see success in reaching those goals. And then lastly, leading. And this is something you might not have realized when you became a wealth engineer. So I didn't sign up for leading. But when we talk about leading, it's actually duplication. And you have to embrace becoming a leader. You have to. Because this business gives you the benefit of leverage. We speak about it in the intro presentation all the time. And leverage is the power of duplication, right? That's the beauty of network marketing businesses, is that you get to leverage. And if you want to duplicate effectively, you have to lead effectively. You have to lead by example. You've got to show those new wealth engineers that you're bringing into your channel what it takes to be a successful wealth engineer. Okay, so these are the 6 basic activities that we're going to be looking at, and these are going to play the foundation of this first 30 days schedule for you. Now, this is all academic so far. And a lot of what we do, all the training that we do, is very much academic, right? Unless you put your theory into practice, I promise you, you won't even get off the couch. You'll be part of that 0+0 club that I talk about in the intro presentations. So you have to do this. You have to jump into the water. You can go read as many books about how to swim as you want. You can watch YouTube videos about people swimming and how to swim and how to get your stroke correction right. And after you've done all of that, I promise you, if I throw you in the sea, you're going to drown. Right? You have to start by getting into the shallow end. Don't worry about the books and all of that. Yes, they're great, but you have to get into the shallow end. Get into the shallow end. Feel what that water feels like. Feel that little bit of panic when your head submerges under the water, right? So don't become paralyzed by trying to get the theory right, trying to be perfect. Just throw yourself out there. I know it can be daunting, going up to strangers perhaps and speaking to them about a business proposition. But you have to do it. You have to do it. Remember why you're doing it. Because that goal, that big, big, big goal that I hope you have, is going to let you break out of all those vulnerability emotions that you have and allow you to put yourself out there and take a chance and endure those 65% of no's that you're going to get in this business so that you can get through the 35 yeses and get closer and closer to that goal that you've set for yourself. So what I want to do is I want to share a personal story that I have that I think reflects those 6 behaviors or those 6 activities that are discussed. So you might have known in the past, I've kind of touched on that I do quite a lot of cycling. And this all started in 2010 for me. So in 2010, I'd actually had a knee injury through rugby, and it prevented me from running at all. And by chance, I met someone whose wife was a physio, and he said to me, listen, go speak to this other physio. She trains all the physios in South Africa and in the UK. She's amazing. She'll get you running again. So I went to go see her, and I'd been back to the orthopedic surgeon and to all kinds of people to try and get running again. I just couldn't. And I went to see this physio as a last kind of chance. This was like not having run for about 6 or 7 years. I went to this new physio, and she got me running again. Small distances, 100 meters, 200 meters, 500 meters. Then I was doing a kilometer and 2 kilometers. I thought, this is amazing. I'd always wanted to do this race. I don't know if anyone's familiar with this race called Ironman. It's probably one of the hardest races on the planet. And as a young boy, I'd always looked up to people that had done Ironman, and I thought, one day I'll do it. And now when I suddenly had this glimpse of hope that I could run again, I thought, I'm going to enter Ironman. Let me just do it. So I entered Ironman in 2010. The race was on the 10th of April, 2011. This was at the end of 2010, so I had about 6 months to get ready for this race. And you can see what it entails. It's swimming about 4 kilometers. So it's swimming from here to Monte Cassino about. And then you're cycling 180 kilometers. So it's from here to Sun City, you cycle. And then you run a marathon afterwards, right? So this race starts at 7 o'clock in the morning, and you have 17 hours to finish the race. The cutoff is midnight that night. So anyway, I entered this race. We're all familiar with another race called Comrades. I never did Comrades. I wanted to. And we know, Comrades 90 kilometers. But to give you some reflection on how anything in life reflects what we're doing now. So any endeavor, whether you're trying to lose weight or go to gym or start a hobby or you're involved in some gaming or some sport or some business, it all entails the same thing. If you want to be effective at it, those 6 activities that we spoke about can be put into place in any other aspect of life. And I promise you, it'll lead to greater success for you, okay? So take a look here. Now, this is very similar to the DuePoint business. For the Comrades Marathon this year, they had 20,000 entries. So they cut the entries off at 20,000. Only 17 arrived at the start line. Is that not similar to some wealth engineers that we bring into the business? Right? The 0+0 club, the ones that quit after 1 or 2 months, they haven't even got to the start line. Only 14,000 people finished Comrades Marathon. Right? How many wealth engineers don't become qualified? Very similar. Very similar. Okay, so here's a video that just shows you what Ironman's actually like. I want you just to watch this for 2 minutes.
There are really just 2 types of people. Those who say, I can't, and those who say, I can. These people have been summoned here by themselves for their 1,700 different reasons. Their unity comes from their mantra, I can, and their destination, a place they absolutely have to get to. What they will do to get there is monumental by anyone's standards, even their own. The unknown, we all fear it. And right now, there's an ocean full of it. This is also about limits. Reaching them, exploring them, exceeding what you thought yours were. Or maybe coming to the conclusion that there aren't any.
This is the Ironman.
The Ironman.
The Ironman.
Ironman is a swim, a bike, and a run. It's what I do every day of my life.
It becomes almost addictive. Once you've done it once, you want to do it again.
Sort of like a drug, in a way. Ironman is the drug.
Each person out there will have some pain during the day.
Pain is about seeing how strong you are mentally.
When you have pain, I think it's a matter of adjusting your mind and body to be able to overcome it.
It's all up top, it's in your head. If you can challenge yourself to finish an Ironman, you can do anything.
There's no can't in Ironman.
Anything is possible. I can.
I know I can.
So who's doing that with me next year? Right, it looked quite daunting. Can you see how I was so easily enamored with this race? Like I looked at it and I looked at people that my father knew that had done it, and I just thought, jeez, it must be amazing to be able to do that race one day. Okay, and so one of the first things I did when I entered this race, I went and got a coach, right? Like a lead wealth engineer. So that's my coach. That's him there. His name's Freddie Lampert, professional triathlete. You can see he just looks awesome. He looks fast. He looks like he knows what he's doing, right? And in the same way, you've got that same support here at DuePoint. You've got a lead wealth engineer. You've got staff here that want to support you. We've placed all these facilities, and we spent a lot of money on the technology to be that coach for you, to make you as effective as possible as a wealth engineer so that you can get to your goal that you've placed for yourself. So who wants to know how I did in my race? Okay, before we get to that, let's see how we reflect those 6 activities against something like Ironman, right? Because I've told you that you can kind of place these 6 activities into any kind of sphere in your life, and it'll help you be more successful. So take a look. Prospect, yes, running, cycling, and swimming. You going out and speaking to prospects, I started running. That's the first thing I started doing. I started running 10 kilometers a day. I'd never run more than 10 kilometers in my life when I entered Ironman. Never. I didn't know what it felt like to run 11 kilometers. The last time I'd done 10 kilometers was actually when I was in Standard 5. Right? So a daunting prospect. Engage. Find experienced people. Where's that support that you get to lean into? So I got the coach. I joined a triathlon club. I immersed myself in triathlon, right? Monitor. I monitored everything. I had one of those Garmin watches. I calculated distance, my heart rate, everything that I was doing got monitored so that I could see the effect of what the training that I was doing was having. Learning, lots of learning. Asking questions constantly from my coach, from the people around me in the triathlon club. Researching. I had triathlon magazines. I was on YouTube watching triathlon. Get immersed in the learning experience, the personal development. Crave. You must crave that personal development. Strategize. Yes, we certainly strategized. When I got the coach, he couldn't see me immediately. So I only found the coach at the beginning of the year, right? So from October till December, I was just running 10 kilometers a day. I thought, let me just try to get base fitness up, run 10 kilometers every day. January, I went searching for a coach. I eventually found him. He said, I don't have space for you. I was like, well, now what do I do? He said, but I've got all these people doing half Ironman in January. When they finished, then I can help you. So he put together a program for me, 12-week program, and I scheduled my diary. My whole life was scheduled according to that program because I had to train every morning and every afternoon. I was doing about 20 to 22 hours of training a week that I just suddenly got involved in, right? And then leading. So I wasn't forced to do any leading, but you know, for the last 5-6 years, I've certainly given people advice and my opinion on nutrition and training and everything. Stacey's my protege at the moment. She cycled to Sun City last Friday, right? 180 kilometers, awesome. So I'm very happy to help, okay? So this is very different. I wasn't forced to help anyone, but in your business, it's certainly your leverage, it's your duplication, it's your ability to harness this power of duplication. So you want to lead well when you bring new wealth engineers into this business. So do you see how this reflects in anything in your life? You can apply these 6 activities to anything, and it'll help you be more successful in any endeavor. Okay, so this is how my race went. That was the time I entered the race. So this was October 2010. I then entered an adventure race, a short little adventure race here in Kailami, and this guy here is my wife's stepbrother. And when he found out I'd entered Ironman, he said, there is no chance you're going to do Ironman. No chance. He was waiting for me. He was a little fitter than I was at the adventure race. He was always waiting for me at the next obstacle. Come, Rob, come, we need to go. You sure you're doing this Ironman? He says, you'll never get fit enough to finish Ironman. You've got 6 months. It's not going to happen, right? How many of us get told that in this business? Oh, what's this business you're part of? Oh, I've been part of one of those. They don't work, blah, 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 blah. Let me tell you, I didn't care what he said. I didn't. I knew what I wanted. I was determined to do it. I didn't have any negative feelings with all the detractor comments that he made towards me. That's when I weighed 100 kilograms. That was a short little sprint triathlon that I did, I think at Germiston Lake. 100 kilograms, had to borrow a bike, but I got stuck in, right? In the shallow end. Then the day arrived, the 10th of April. 6 months after I'd entered the race, that was my race number. That's the day before the race. Preparation. You have to be very prepared in this business. In triathlon, you have to, especially Ironman, you've got to be very prepared. You are out there for up to 17 hours. You've got to know exactly what you're doing from a nutrition point of view, your transitions, when you come out the water, taking your wetsuit off, putting your cycling stuff on. You don't want to forget anything. You've got to eat while you're on the bicycle. You've got to eat about, for me, I'd lost, so at that stage I was 10 kilograms lighter than I was in the picture above. I'd lost 10 kilograms in 6 months. No dieting. I ate anything I could find. It was just the training. 22 hours of training did that to me, right? So the day before, I went out on the bicycle, make sure the bicycle's working properly, went up the route, get the legs a little bit warmed up. Here's me on race day, just before the swim, right? Nervous as hell. I won't lie. Nervous. Here's me on the bike. So the swim went okay. I actually swam off course, right? You're swimming in the sea, in these swells. And what you have to do is you've got to pinpoint a building on the coast. And that's what you swim towards, right? That's your landmark. You know that's where you're turning. You start aiming for that building, but you're swimming, and you don't want to lift your head all the time because it interrupts your swim stroke. So what you do is you only lift your head every now and again. And what had happened is I swam off course. How many wealth engineers have gone off course? They've realized the people I'm bringing into this business are the wrong people. It happened exactly to me. I looked up, and everyone was swimming 200 meters away from me. I was on my own. I was surprised the lifesaver hadn't come and asked me to jump on the boat. But I corrected my course. I swam back. I'd lost a little bit of time, but I got back on course, and my swim was fine. Right? So I went from the swim to the bicycle, and I felt great on the bicycle. Had a strong bike, as they say in triathlon. I had a strong bike. 5.5 hours to cycle from here to Sun City distance. Okay? Then the run started. Oh, my goodness. Did the wheels fall off on the run? I hadn't eaten enough on the bicycle. I was supposed to take in about 3,000 calories on the bicycle, which is what we would normally eat in a whole day. I had to do in the space while I was riding a bike. On my bicycle here, I had a little pouch in the front here, which had all my nutrition in it. I had 4 bottles on the bike that had these protein shakes in that I had to finish. And I finished everything, but I'd calculated the nutrition wrong. And when I started my run, I felt great. Started the run, and within about 2 kilometers, empty. Empty, empty, empty. I wanted to quit there and then because I couldn't take another step. My glycogen levels, the sugar in my blood, had disappeared. And when that happens, your brain says, we're shutting everything down. And you cannot do anything. Those people stumbling around that you saw in the video, those are people where their glycogen levels are run out. You actually have zero energy. And that happened to me on the run. And there's my dad next to me. You need that support as a wealth engineer because this business is not like that. It's like this, like anything in life. And when you're in the downs, you lean on the support that we have in place. You come speak to Brendan and I, or your lead wealth engineer, or maybe even the people on your first point, your own team. Encourage each other, right? Because you need that in those moments. Otherwise, you're not going to get your goal. Don't isolate yourself, ever. What's next? There. I'm running again. I found one of the nutrition stations and ate about 10 Bovril sandwiches, white bread sandwiches. 5 minutes later, bloodstream full of glycogen again, off I went. Running again. 3 laps. At the finish, finally, 11.5 hours later. 11.5 hours later, big smile on my face. Right? This is why it's so important for you guys to set these short-term goals. You don't only want the big long-term goal. I want to be a millionaire when I'm retired. Well, $1 million only pays you out $5,000, so you don't want to be a millionaire. I want to be a multi-millionaire in dollar terms by the time I retire. But that's too far out. You need these shorter-term goals, right? Almost every month you need a little goal. And then every 6 months and 12 months, have these short-term goals that you can focus on. Because it'll make you smile like that. It'll encourage you with the success that you're showing to have in this business. And there's me with the medal next to my wife, feeling elated. Elated. I'd aimed to do about 11 hours, and I did about 11 hours. I would have actually preferred to have done sub 11. Do you know that in the 30 minutes, 170 people crossed the line? I came about 370th in this race. So there's my results, right? Sorry, 316th. I came 316th out of 1,734. Sent my wife's stepbrother a message. Suck on that. Right? That's what you're going to do to your detractors. Those people that, this business, that business, you're wasting your time. That's what you're going to do. Those short-term successes, you're going to put it on Facebook, those short-term successes, and go, look at me. Look at me. So you can do it, guys, and you can apply that activity to your business and have the same success in your business, right? The beauty is there's no time limit. This was a time limit. I had to be ready for the 10th of April. You guys have got all the time in the world. Don't put pressure on yourself. I had immense pressure. Sometimes I work well under pressure. We're all different. I was joking with Brendan the other day saying, I can't do, if I get given too much time to do something, you know, it's the worst thing for me. I need a little bit of time to do a lot in, because then I become very focused and I enjoy the pressure. So everyone's different, but you're certainly not under pressure in this business. So pace yourselves. Pace yourselves. Okay, so this is what the schedule looks like. So we've created, it's already under downloads on your dashboard. We've created this 30-day schedule that basically maps out exactly what a new wealth engineer can expect to be doing in this business. Day by day, all the 6 activities, and the last 2 at the bottom, if you can see them, qualify and rank up. Those are the result of the 6 basic activities, okay? So let's go through them one by one. So it's going to start off with you logging into the dashboard. Once you become a new wealth engineer, you're going to download the app, right? If you've got a smartphone, but you're going to log into your dashboard. And that can happen online, or you can log in, through your app, right? So we've got those 2 facilities. You don't have to have a smartphone, but you're going to be doing that every day because you need to monitor what's going on every day. And you need to get that 25 XP every day that we all love so much, the XP, okay? So fairly straightforward, monitor. The next one is learn. The first thing you're going to do is read your code of conduct. Now, I know a lot of you haven't read your code of conduct. Take time and go read that code of conduct. Even if you just peruse through it, you know, it's going to take you 10 minutes. Please go read it. It was emailed to you. It's on the website. Go look at it. There are clauses in there that you need to be well aware of. And you'll have noticed that in the last week, we've actually put in facility to suspend the ability to log into your dashboard, because we are trying to manage all these people that are in contravention of a code of conduct. And you know what happens when we phone them? Please phone us back. We want to talk to you about the stuff you're doing on Facebook or this you're doing. Do you think we get a phone call back? No. So we had to take a little more drastic action. Now there's a little suspension button on our system. And now they can't log into the dashboard. And suddenly we get a phone call in 30 seconds. And we say, please take the DuePoint logo off your Facebook page because you are not DuePoint. Yes, I've done it immediately. There we go. We lift your suspension, okay? Make sure you know what's going on in your code of conduct. Your first 30 days, that's going to be the new dev seminar that you're going to point your new wealth engineers to, right? You've joined, well done. Go watch this awesome dev seminar called The First 30 Days. You'll see Rob is a part of a weight loss program. He lost 10 kilograms in that dev seminar. Right? So that's going to be on YouTube straight after this. You're going to watch the basic series. You're going to point them to the basic series, and the basic series in the schedule, we've put in 3 dev seminars to watch per week. You can watch 2 a week or 1 a week, or you can watch all basic series in 1 week. It's completely up to you, but you need to engage with the training. You have to, because otherwise you're not going to understand the nuances of this business. You're not going to really understand how the returns and rewards work, and that's why you're here. So point them to it. The basic series is in order. The number 1 and the number 2 are not there for fun. The first one you're going to watch is the returns and rewards dev seminar. And then you're going to watch the dashboard dev seminar, right? So it's in order. And then immerse yourself into this business. Become passionate about it, right? Like me, I've got the Ironman magazine, started watching videos, it became everything Ironman. I was a walking little Ironman at that stage of my life. You need to do the same. There's so much external material that will motivate you and encourage you and teach you new techniques and things. Go do it. Jim Rohn is one of the most amazing business consultants. Unfortunately, he's passed away. But all his material is on YouTube for free. So go look at that. Read books. Do what you need to do to become passionate about this business, because if it's going to become part of your life, I hope that you're passionate about it. I hope it's not this onerous thing that you're doing just to get by every month. Okay. The next section is prospecting. Now, this is the running of DuePoint, right? Get out, put your running shoes on, and go prospect. And you're going to prospect every single day. You're going to add to your list every single day in this business, even if it's only one person. I promise you, if you can put in one new person on your list and contact one new person every single day, you'll be fine. You'll be fine, okay? And then look at getting the merchandise. Like I said, these are tools to help you be more effective in this business. So for the new wealth engineers, we've asked them to look at getting business cards and perhaps a USB stick. That's a great starting point with regards to the merchandise, okay? Then presentations. If you are successful in your prospecting, it's going to lead to you attending or watching a presentation on the live stream. So that's always the goal. You speak to the prospect, and the prospect will hopefully say, yes, I'll give you an hour of my time, or I'll come to head office, or I'll watch the USB stick that you gave me. And we've put it in here twice a week, Monday and Thursday. But you can do anything, right? This has to fit into your schedule. But it certainly has to be a regular occurrence, an occurrence that you aim for, because this is a task, and a task is like a goal, and you have to aim for the task once a week. Because if you've tasked yourself with prospecting every single day, you're going to say to every prospect that you speak to, I can meet you on Thursday night. I can meet you on Thursday night. Or come to my house on Thursday night. You're going to aim for Thursday night. And those 3 or 4 people that you speak to at the beginning of the week, you're going to load them up for Thursday night. Right? You need that regular occurrence to happen, that task, because at the end of the week you go, I didn't do any prospecting this week. Then you know you failed at that task. Okay? That's part of the monitoring. So if you go to the website, you log in, go to upcoming events, you will see all the events. Do you know that we load up all the events for the next 6 months? People said to us the other day, oh, we didn't know that you were doing 2 presentations on the public holiday. You should have known 6 months ago. So go look at the events page, and you'll see all our intro presentations. You can click on the live stream button there, get your XP for watching the presentation. The next one is planning. You are going to connect with your lead wealth engineer, right? So this is for the brand new wealth engineer. You're going to connect with the person that introduced you to DuePoint, and you're going to schedule your diary. Your lead wealth engineer will have a much better idea of what it entails to be a wealth engineer from a diary or a schedule point of view. So sit down, discuss your goals with them, and they will help you diarize so that you can work towards those goals, right? So you're going to connect with those people. WhatsApp is a beautiful platform. We all love using WhatsApp because we're terrified to use that black thing. But let me tell you, in marketing, this thing is way more effective than instant messaging. Did you know that? So I'm going to give you a free tip right now that can probably double the effectiveness of your prospecting. Phone instead of message. Got to ask yourself, I do the same thing. I'll rather message people than phone them directly. I don't know what it is. Just phone them. Phone them, right? Speak to your lead wealth engineer. Get him to phone you. He should be phoning you. And then, like I said, schedule according to the events that DuePoint has going forward. Our training, our intro presentations, schedule that into your diary so there's no surprises coming up. Then you're going to be leading, right? So after some success prospecting, you're getting people to come to the intro presentation, and they become wealth engineers. What do you do now? You lead. You lead, and by leading, all you're doing is just connecting. You're connecting and engaging with these people that have taken this leap of faith to join you in your channel. They've believed what you've said. They've come and sat in a presentation, never heard of this business called DuePoint, but they've taken the step of faith. And now you need to embrace them and become a leader to them and tell them, this is what you're going to do. Look at this wonderful thing. There's a whole schedule, 30 days. This is what you need to do. and you need to connect with your team at least once a week. By WhatsApp? Yes, maybe for the finer things, but speak to them. Speak to them on the phone, or set up a meeting with them once a week or every second week where you all come together and you talk about how you're going to push towards the success and the goals that you have in this business. Okay, part of the strategizing. You can set up a teamworks meeting. So maybe after a month or 2 months, when you've built a little team and you've experienced what it is to get from the shallow end to halfway to the deep end, right? You come sit with us, you schedule a teamworks meeting, and Brendan or myself will sit down with you and go through all the issues that you find in the business and the questions that you have, and go over all the fundamentals of this business again, encourage your team and strategize again with regards to your goals. Then qualifying. So qualifying is a result. It's a successful result from all 6 of those activities. Because your first goal as a new wealth engineer is always to qualify yourself. So when you've got new wealth engineers that join the business, that is their first goal. The number 1 goal is to qualify yourself. Oh, what does that mean? And then you're going to explain to them what qualifying means, right? And we do that in almost all of the basic series dev seminars. So point them to returns and rewards so that they understand how to qualify themselves, why it's important to qualify, what it looks like, and then going beyond that, how they rank up, right? So there's the rank up. In this program, we're hoping they'll rank up in the second week, which is just those 4 products on your first point. You'll have way more than 1,000 XP, I promise you, if you go through this. And that'll be great success for them because they now know they're on the board on the XP rewards program and they're earning at the end of the month, right? And I've told them, if you can get to rank 1, you can get to rank 9. You have to be excited about the 55 Rand. Do you get excited about the 55 Rand in rank 1? Get them excited about the 55 Rand because they know if you can get to rank 1, you can get to rank 9. And if you can get to rank 9, you can get to rank 11. It's those little goals at the beginning that we have to focus on. And so hopefully before the end of that 30-day program, they've already reached rank 1. Okay. So let's take a look at your first week. A recap on your first week. So there's day 1. You're going to be logging into the dashboard. You'll have been exposed to the code of conduct in the application form, and that'll be emailed to you too. Go through that. You're going to make a list immediately. It's going to be the first thing. They will know that they have to prospect. If you join this business and you don't think you're prospecting, then you didn't watch the presentation, right? The channels of distribution, those are all based on you going out of prospecting. So you're going to help them create a list. And then you're going to help them speak to the people that are on the list, even if it's 1 or 2 people a day. But that's what you're going to begin with. And then you're going to attend a presentation. I think even if you attended on your own on the first day, right? Just to understand how this kind of works as a wealth engineer now. You come to the presentation, right? You've got that. There's the free Wi-Fi. Do I know the password? How do I scan in the QR code when I arrive here? Familiarize yourself with what you're going to expose prospects to. So that's day 1. Fairly simple. Day 2, log in again. Watch the first 30 days dev seminar. Add to your list again. Contact someone again, and then you're going to connect with your lead wealth engineer and schedule your diary for the next month or next 6 months, perhaps. Okay? And then there's nothing new after that. You're going to watch more of the dev seminars, the basic training, start getting involved in the material, start immersing yourself in everything. You're going to be adding and contacting your list daily. You're going to consider getting merchandise in that first week. You're going to have attended another presentation before the end of the week. But this is very flexible, guys. This needs to work with your schedule. Like I said, some people might be happy with just earning 2,500 Rand a month. They might only have to come here once every 2 weeks. But if you want to get to rank 9, you have to do more than that. If that's your ambition, well, then you need to consider coming to head office or watching a live stream 3 times a week, right? So that's very flexible. And then connecting, the planning, connecting with your lead wealth engineer is very important. I would hope that the lead wealth engineer is contacting you. We don't always have the perfect lead wealth engineer. That's why you've got head office. That's why we've got all the technology in place to support you through this, okay? Then the leading. You're going to lead because if you have success in this top part, you're going to have a couple of new wealth engineers, and that's going to be very exciting because that means you're being successful, you're duplicating, and you now need to bear in mind that you want to duplicate well with quality people that you brought into this business, because that is really where your success lies. It is. We've seen wealth engineers, they can bring 40, 50 people in a single month, but they're not duplicating. They're bringing in the wrong people. And then a couple of months later, that whole business collapses, and they've got to do it again. And they're good at doing it again. They can build it up again, and then it collapses after a couple of months. You want to build a sustainable business. This is the keystone to this business, is that you're able to leverage in this business, because I want to see you in a position where you can not depend on your salary anymore. You don't have to be around. You can go on holiday for 3 months and not stress about it. You'll still get paid. And that is completely dependent on how well you can duplicate effectively with effective, resourceful, quality individuals on your first point. Okay? And then the result of that is going to be the qualifying and the ranking up. Okay? These dev seminars are always theory. They are always theory. It's like reading books about swimming. Like I said, you can paralyze yourself by trying to be perfect at this business. You just have to get involved. Do the activity. Start running. Go out and speak to, Brendan says, when you start prospecting, at the top of your list is always going to be your family and friends. And they're the worst, by the way, if you haven't noticed. My father accused me of being part of a pyramid scheme. It's like, Dad! But in 30 minutes, I convinced him that it wasn't a pyramid scheme, and he joined the business. Right? Along with my brother. Don't get stuck on the theory or the academics of this business. Watch the training. All of the stuff that we do, all the support that we put in place is there to help you. But nothing will ever replace actually doing the business. Actually making those phone calls. The first year, do you know the first year, as staff, we're not allowed to have our own channels, right? Conflict of interest, because we want to be promoting your businesses, not our own businesses. But in the first year, Brendan tasked all of us with bringing people into the business. So we were forced to make lists and to prospect. We all appreciate how difficult it is. And you have to do it to appreciate how difficult it is. And only through the difficulty can you learn and become better. And when you become better, you're closer to success. So don't become paralyzed. Don't be like this guy sitting on the time bomb. Do you know what the time bomb is? Retirement. It is, right? You can be beyond retirement, then your time bomb is death. You want to enjoy your life as much as possible. Don't sit back and wait and wait and wait and think, oh, how am I going to do this? You overthink things. Just throw yourself into the shallow end. Feel what it feels like. Embrace the difficulty of it, the frustration. Because we're here to support you. We've got very experienced wealth engineers that will still come to Brendan and I and still complain about the frustration of this business. And we high-five them and we say, isn't it great? Because nothing is easy in this world. Nothing is easy. Everyone sitting in this room wants to go and get it for themselves, right? That's why we joined the business. You're tired of employment. You're tired of being told what you can have and what you can't have because the economy is like this, because your company is struggling, blah, 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 blah. We're doing this for ourselves. And when you're doing it for yourself, you have to do it on your own. There's a part of this business that requires that you do it on your own. Like I said, I can't force you to spend time in this business. That's the decision you have to make on your own, because you're not going to get a phone call from Brendan and I if you decide not to do anything. You won't get a call from us. But if you do get stuck in the business, we're there for you. We do the business with you. And that's it, guys. Was I 45 minutes? So like I said, this dev seminar is going to be on YouTube immediately. The schedule is already under download, so you can download the PDF and print it out for your new wealth engineers. I hope this is a tool that's going to help you tremendously in getting people across that line of becoming qualified, so that they realize that this business is possible, that it can make a difference very quickly for them. Because that's what we want. We want to make the 0+0 club smaller. We hope this tool does it for you. Thank you very much. Let's go outside and get the new guys in.